Hi everyone, Vicky here. I hope you're well. This is just a quick card demo that I used the Holiday Penguins by My Favourite Things for. So this is mainly heat embossing. So I've just taken a standard 4¼ by 5½ card, and the first thing I'm going to do is actually stamp the inside of the card. So I am going to use this forest green, or it's evergreen even, from Prism, and then I'm going to use the main sentiment, which is sending you some Christmas cheer and wishes for the best new year, which is just a really cute little sentiment I really like. So I'm just going to ink that up in the green and stamp that into my card. I'm actually making 2 cards, so I will stamp it in both of them, and you'll also see that I do 2 coats as well, just to get it a nice clear imprint on there. It is just a really nice little sentiment, and I quite like the font as well, which is good. I'm trying to stamp the inside of my cards a little bit more. So I cleared that off my MISTI, and then I've taken 2 pieces of craft card, which are 4 by 5¼ so they're just 1/4 inch smaller. And I'm just trying to work out exactly where I was going to put my images, so I could put my magnet on there without them getting in the way. So I'm going to take the tree and the little penguin from this set. I decided on the penguin with the little baubles on the antlers that he's wearing, because I thought that was quite cute. I did debate switching them around the other way, but then I don't know why, I just like having my taller image on the left. I'm not sure why, it's just a little quirk that I've got. I'm just going to pop those 2 images into position, and then I'm going to pick those up with the door of my MISTI. And then I'm going to be stamping those with clear embossing. I'm going to use clear ink to use white embossing powder. I'm so sorry. So I'm just going to make sure I give my entire piece of cardstock a good go over with my anti-static bag, because I will be wanting to get a nice crisp line. Then I'm using my clear embossing ink. See, I know I get there right in eventually. Just to do those images. And I will give those 2 coats as well, just because these are quite detailed images, and I want to make sure I get a really nice crisp image. I'd seen someone before had mentioned how nice it is to white emboss onto craft card, so I decided I wanted to give that a little go and just do a cute little scene with it. So that's my 2nd coat of the ink, and then I will come in with my white embossing powder. So the embossing powder I have is Wow embossing powder, my white one. It's opaque white, just so it does give quite a good coverage. That's just me trying to get a piece of paper to go underneath to catch the spare embossing powder, so I don't lose it all, because that would just be a waste, and I don't do wasting. So like I say, I have the Wow embossing powder, and it is the detailed fine one as well, so I can get nice neat images with it. It's great for things like text as well, with it being so fine. So I'm just going to give it a nice little coat over my images, and then just tap off any excess. I'm just going to move that to the side while I pop my embossing powder into, and well, I was about to, and then I decided I wanted a 2nd coat. Just pop my embossing powder back into the jar, just so it's out of the way and safe before I start using my heat gun and randomly blow it across the entire desk, which would not be good. Lid back on, nice and safe, so it's all secure. And then I'm just going to heat my embossing heat tool up just slightly off camera, I think it'll end up being, just while I get it up to heat. And then I'm going to start by doing the back and then move on to the front. I kind of like doing this just because doing the heating can sometimes warp the card, and this just stops some of the warping. As you'll see, it is going to melt. Once it starts melting, it's kind of just a case of chasing the melting powder across the image, and you'll see it does come out looking really nice and bright white against that image. That's just me trying to stop warping a little bit more. So I am going to do both of the images in exactly the same way on both of these pieces of brown card. I'm then going to take from the Shutter Card Sentiments from Lawn Fawn. I'm going to take the sentiment from there. It's just a nice size sentiment, and I've also got the stamp of the little star that goes on top of the tree from the penguin stamp set. I'm just going to quickly put my anti-static powder on there, and then I'm going to use the same clear embossing ink. However, to do my sentiment and the star, I'm actually going to use my silver from Lawn Fawn, just to give it a little bit of difference so it's not all white. I quite like the idea of the star being silver and the sentiment as well, just for a little bit of difference on there. And then I'm just going to heat that up with my embossing tool. So here that goes. And I do like, it makes a really, really pretty shade. So there's that nicely embossed as well. Ta-da! Here's the one I did earlier. I've just popped my foam pads onto the back ahead of time. Just makes life a little bit easier. And then I tend to stand up to try and make sure I get it as straight as possible before I press it down firmly. And that is actually the card done. As I say, nice and simple. I did obviously make the two. If you've enjoyed my video, please do hit like. And if you would like to see more, please do hit the subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I will speak to you all soon. Bye.